Guys, I hold in my hand a very unique box from a company that I typically assume their knives are going to be garbage. Let's take a look at a knife that I'm not unpleased with from Boker Plus. Guys, like I said, what's in this box was a gift from one of my paying members, and it's the Boker Kalashnikov button lock flipper. Now, this is not an auto. I think these are a Blade HQ exclusive. Interesting packaging. It's done and it looks like an AK-47 magazine. So let's get this box out of the way so we can talk about this knife. And it's not a bad little knife. I think I'm going to like it. I have not looked up the price and everything, but I know these are not a really expensive knife. The Boker has been known for a long time. As a matter of fact, Jared and I just were recently joking about this. If you get a Boker, you automatically assume the worst. And some of those things are changing. Jared's going to send me a couple of the ones that were done by Riat. But these are done in Taiwan, and they're done in a faux dagger in D2 steel. They have got a black wash blade. Now, there was an unboxing video for this, and there was an issue, so it's gone. And I realized real quick that I wanted to sharpen this. I did put my edge on this. I put a fairly aggressive, like 600 grit edge on this D2, and it cuts pretty well. So, faux dagger on this, but it's not super thick like a lot of dagger grinds. It is still pretty thick, but it's not like crazy thick. They did a fairly decent job transitioning this down. Now, I will say that this dagger grind is no thicker behind the edge than some of the saber ground Spydercos that I've had. It is a button lock, and it's not got bad action. The detent is fairly good for a button lock. Sometimes button locks can have a squishy detent. The button is in a nice position. It doesn't stand up proud in the closed position, and it's not proud at all either in the open position, so it doesn't catch on anything. The handles are textured aluminum, and they're pretty comfortable. They are pretty comfortable. Lots of finger grooves on this. Now, I do know that there's a donut version of this knife, but we're not going to talk about that because, well, I don't like those. The handles are textured just enough to give you a good bit of grip, but not enough that it's difficult in and out of pocket. The pocket clip it's decent. It's a decent pocket clip, nice deep carry on it. And it is removable, and it sits on the inside, so it's really secure. There's very little movement on this. Some of the deep carry pocket clips have a tendency to have some wiggle, but you can see it's milled in there, and then it's also in on that standoff. So the hard coat ano on it is attractive. The blade finish on this is in a black wash, so it's probably PVD that then has been, stone washed and tumbled and everything like that. But like I said, in hand, really comfortable. There is a little bit of jimping right here. There's one jimp. I wouldn't say it's jimp. Well, I guess there's two jimps. I would not say that it is really functional. I don't think that it needed to be there. But it is aggressive. So, I mean, you could say that it's functional jimping. So I'm throwing it in on the good side of the house. And then, like I said, just pretty attractive with that faux dagger grind. I'm kind of pleased with this for something that I guarantee is not a higher end style knife. Now, there are issues with it. I will tell you that right now. So we're going to turn this around and we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that I'm just not a super fan of. And it's just typical Boker stuff. So let's turn this around after you guys hear from this video sponsor. Guys, did you know that Coffee Brand Coffee has more than just awesome on-demand roasted coffees and flavored coffees? They also have tea, cocoa, cold brew bags, decaf, and they have premium candies that will make your family go nuts. So check them out with the link down below to save 10% on some of the best coffee you're going to find. So not to bash on Boker, but they always have some stuff that is pretty much standard with their knives. First of all, I'm not a fan of the hardware. I haven't taken it apart yet all the way, but I'm not a fan of the hardware, and I got a sneaking suspicion that I'm not going to take this apart because I'm pretty sure that every Boker I've ever taken apart, I've stripped a screw. And you can see that they sit at different heights from side to side. So that means that some of this was machined at different levels. Another thing, jimping on the tail of this, you don't need it. There's no real need for it. I do know that it's dagger shaped, but you don't really need that. You don't. The grind on the knife, a little inconsistent at the tip. You can see from side to side, one of these sides is lower than the other. And it's further down on both sides than I would want it because it screws up the edge. It gives you a kind of a blunted edge, and you can see it's kind of inconsistent from side to side the way that the blade grind was done. Not my edge, but the blade grind itself. It's a little inconsistent. You can see it coming down to the tip. Typical Boker stuff. And then there is a little bit of stick. So the action, while the detent's good enough that you can do the flick and the action's decent, there is a good bit of stick on the lock. Now, you can easily take care of that by putting a little bit of heavy grease down inside the pocket for the button. I don't like taking button locks apart. I'm gonna see if I can fix it. And I did have to lube this up to get the action I've got, which is not uncommon with a lot of knives. They missed a good opportunity here. They could have easily milled that spot here on this side to make it so that you can flip this pocket clip, because it is a button lock. It's truly an ambidextrous knife, but it's right hand only in this iteration because they just didn't. It would have just been a matter of running the same process on both scales and then just using the, your standoff to hold your thumb stud in. And then a big ugly lanyard hole on it. And for as much as these handles are textured, if your hands are wet, it's slippery. It's slippery. My hands were sweaty and wet by the time, my hands were wet by the time I got done sharpening, and it was slippery. And then one final thing, it needs a much bigger finger choil, or a sharpening choil. I mean, you can see right there, it's got a serious smile to it. That material needed to be removed out to about here. I can do that on my own. It's not that hard. You just need a diamond file, a set of diamond files, and a round or a half round, and take that material out. But I mean, all in all, good and bad. It's definitely better than I was expecting from your average, like, budget style Boker. So I'm happy to see that some of their knives are actually stepping up in quality. Like I said, Jared's going to send me some Reat ones that he said are really good comparatively. But you always have that feeling when you get one of the Boker knives in, you're like, okay, it's going to be bad. And I'm pleasantly surprised with this one. So let's turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts, and I'll send you out about your day.
So yeah, guys, I'm not unhappy with this knife. This Boker Plus Kalashnikov, it's not like a super high quality knife, like I said in the video, but it definitely is not horrible. I've been impressed with some of the newer Boker stuff, and I'm hoping that they get back to what they were when I was a kid. They used to be really good. So that's it on this one. You guys know what to do. There's an ad in the video. You know that. I've got sponsors down below. Click those links. Coffee Bear & Coffee Temper Trail have got discounts built into their links. I've got coupon codes at a bunch of companies. You can save 40% at Beyond EDC, 10% at Fair and Forge Knife Works, 10% at KATSU Knives, and 10% at Rosecraft Blades with coupon code crazysharp, all one word, all lowercase. I have affiliate links for most of the major vendors down below. I also have an Amazon store. If you're gonna do any shopping, use those. It supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout. I have a public Discord down below. You can join it. It says join the community. It's just a place that you can hang out and just trade stuff. There's DM functions, all kinds of stuff. And I have a membership that is tier-based. I do exclusive content. I do giveaways. There's a premium tier sharpening tutorial series and a private Discord. So guys, that's it. That's this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.